Hey everybody, what is going on? It is Crypto Bobby. Hope you are having a good day, good night, wherever you are watching in from. And thank you guys very much for taking the time to join, whether you are now watching this thing live or if you're watching a recording. If you happen to miss this and you're watching a recording sometime in the future, appreciate you regardless. And tonight want to talk a bit about what is happening in the world of Bitcoin, specifically with the Bitcoin gold fork that everybody is talking about and going on in depth on. So I've spoken at a decent bit of length as far as Bitcoin gold and my overall thoughts, but definitely as things are developing, because this is not a well thought out fork, apparently. This is not a well thought out fork, so I definitely want to give you my overall thoughts on this. We could talk a little bit about the futures market and what is happening in this scenario, so you guys know kind of everything that is going down and happening in the world of crypto right now. What is up, James? What's up, Fernando? Mayente Spambox, Alex, Blix, Sam, Jam, Fabio, what, Christian? What is going on, guys? I hope you are having a good one and make Bitcoin go up. Apparently that is past 15 minutes or so, we've dropped about, let's see how much. Dropped from over $5,900 to almost $100 in the past 15, 30 minutes, well above that in the past hour. So things are going down right now as we're approaching the fork. I don't know if people selling off, but we'll definitely talk about that today. So a couple different interesting. So, dude, what's up? So hopping into some things. So Twitter is a buzz right now with a couple of different things happening in the world of Bitcoin, specifically on Bitcoin Gold. One thing in particular, what is up, Gary, Kristen, Fernando? Yeah, a couple blocks to go. So if you guys have a Ledger, this is kind of my move right now with a Ledger. If you guys have a Ledger, they came out, and if you want to see this link, I'll post it here. Who knows if this link will actually post? Hopefully it will. But there you go. So Ledger came out, if you have a Ledger, and basically said that if you have a Ledger, if you have your Bitcoin in Legacy or SegWit, you don't have to do anything. The only thing that they're making sure is that before they give you your Bitcoin Gold, they want to make sure that there's replay protection in place and the transactions that are actually going through. What's up, bro? The transactions are actually going through. So if you have a Ledger, this is kind of why I love Ledger. Tan, what is up, my man? Appreciate that super chat. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Thank you so much, dude. So Ledger this is why I dig Ledger quite a bit, is because they kind of just make sure and keep it hands off and keep you secure. So this was good to see. Bittrex as well, kind of making some things happen. So we can definitely talk about Bitcoin Gold. Right now, the price of Bitcoin is dropping pretty fast, actually. About as fast as it did this morning at about 8 a.m. this morning, where it dropped and had a quick recovery. But Bitcoin is dropping like a little bit of a rock. We can pull up GDAX right now. And Tan, I appreciate that. I actually got a beer tonight. Son of a bitch. Who has a landline? Give me a second. Hello, I'm on Crypto Happy Hour Live. Okay, thank you. Goodbye. That wasn't staged, and that was an auto dialer, so sorry about that, guys. But Tan, appreciate that. Yeah, got myself a Bayfront Blonde. I'm still going through this sampler pack. About 6 of the beers in the sampler pack were absolutely disgusting. The other six were pretty good. So not too bad. Not too bad on that. But let's see if I can. The way I have my screen set up, I can't go through the actual order book there. But yeah, Bitcoin right now is dropping like a rock. Not great to see, but I'm not doing anything. I'm not really worrying about it. Depending upon how hard it drops, I will probably buy more. So that's going to be, we'll have to see what ends up happening here. the interesting thing, I think, too, before we talk a little bit and definitely field your questions, guys, on head of Moscow Mule the other last Thursday. It was a little rough on the throat. Ginger beer can do that, but going into Bitcoin Gold and then into SegWit 2x, I definitely want to talk about that a little bit. But I think it's the sell-off, the run-up, and then a potential sell-off on Bitcoin Gold, I think is interesting because SegWit 2x or B2x, I think, is going to be a lot more valuable in terms of the money you're going to get. So I think people are going to buy in terms, prior to SegWit 2x as well. So if Bitcoin happens to drop like a rock here, you're damn right I'm buying more. And I know a lot of people are talking pretty big about altcoins right now, and every YouTuber on the planet is coming out and making these videos about how, let me adjust this chat for you guys. So every YouTuber on the planet right now is coming out and making videos about how they're going to buy altcoins and how from their perspective, now is the altcoin shopping time. Now is altcoin shopping time, blah, 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 blah. I don't really know if that's going to be the case. I think potentially the altcoin market could continue to go down. We'll have to see exactly what happens there, but I don't think there's necessarily a guarantee that if Bitcoin goes down right now, altcoins are going to skyrocket. We've seen it go. We've seen it go in two ways. About Bitcoin goes up and the altcoins go down, and Bitcoin goes down and the altcoins go down. So something to keep an eye on, but I don't think it's necessarily FUD, but there's a lot of people out there spouting online that the altcoin market is just going to absolutely go through the roof the second this fork is over, and I don't necessarily know that's the case. I hope it is, because I'm about 50% invested in altcoins, as opposed to Bitcoin, but I think it's a little bit reckless for a lot of people out there that are just absolutely like hanging their hat on the fact that come right now, this minute, now that the Bitcoin Gold fork is happening, and pretending like the SegWit 2x fork is not the bigger deal, because it absolutely is the bigger deal, pretending like the altcoins are just going to rise through the roof and Bitcoin is, everything else is going to, do okay. And I mean, as you can see, looking at Ethereum right now, Ethereum is down in the past hour or so. Let's see if Litecoin's getting crushed as well. So let's see what else. Fabio, appreciate that super chat, my man. Thank you so much for that. Jerkin, I did not get a chance to read your brown paper yet. So Chris mentioned Bitcoin will be $7,000 on Halloween. Seems like that could be a pretty aggressive run-up. I mean, it's possible, but I do think that the Bitcoin Gold fork, while a lot of people are focusing on it, and obviously that's the title of the video today, and I think a lot of people want to talk about gold, but SegWit 2x is going to be the more valuable crypto. And if you guys want to hop into it, here is YoBit, and right now, so we'll click on this. You guys want to check out that link. There's a link to the YoBit Bitcoin Gold futures that are trading right now. And presently speaking, the last trade happened, and there's some pretty decent volume actually on this. But presently speaking, about 1,300 Bitcoin in 24 hours. And if we look at the overall price, so if I want to pull up the price here of, let's say, outside of, so it's 0.0846 Bitcoin, or 0.0846 is the ratio there. And if we're looking at the overall Bitcoin price right now, you're looking at potentially getting about $485 of free money if you're holding Bitcoin. If that's a big if those futures hold up. I mean, this market could absolutely collapse. I plan on selling my Bitcoin Gold the second I get Bitcoin. So I definitely plan on, kind of tossing that out the damn window. But maybe you plan on doing something otherwise. But this is really the way this market is going to kind of evolve is going to be really interesting. There have been a couple different people on Twitter already. If you haven't seen it, apparently Bitcoin Gold does not have replay protection yet. To my knowledge, let me see if I could find it. Apparently, let's see. Kraken has no plan to support Bitcoin Gold, so that's one thing. Blah, 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 blah. See if we could find it. I don't know if I could find the tweet, but basically Bitcoin Gold apparently does not have replay protection built in, which is a pretty big negative for the potential fork there. So definitely something you want to keep in mind. And I think until they actually implement replay protection, you might see not a lot of exchanges or not a lot of wallets really adopt it. Yeah, and Morgan represented, somebody else said Bitcoin Gold is a joke code-wise. Yeah, I've heard some. I'm not a software engineer. I work in tech, but I'm more on the sales side and have a background in overall systems architecture and things like that, but definitely not a software engineer, so I can't really look at the code and give you a lot of good information from that perspective. So I definitely rely on people that are actually developers and engineers. But one thing Morgan Freeman mentioned, my man Morgan Freeman, if everybody sells their Bitcoin Gold, immediately won't Bitcoin go up? So, I mean, I kind of envision in some cases that happening, potentially the altcoins going up as well, depending upon what people are able to sell their Bitcoin Gold for. So I think, I mean, who knows if this is actually going to happen, but I think kind of the second that people are actually able to unload their Bitcoin Gold, the price of Bitcoin Gold is going to dive, and then the price of Bitcoin could potentially rise because people are trying to buy back into Bitcoin or buy into other alternative cryptocurrencies as well, which would, if you're trying to buy in, and a lot of people are trying to buy in, you're bidding up the price and you're trying to get in regardless of where it's at. So definitely something to keep an eye on as far as how that develops. But a lot of, some people are just saying the price of Bitcoin is going to take a dive the second this fork happens because everybody's holding it just to get Bitcoin Gold, and then they're going to move it back into other cryptocurrencies. Yes, that could potentially happen, but if you look back at the price of Bitcoin, let's pop this over to the 3 days. I mean, if you look back at the price of Bitcoin, so the Bitcoin Cash fork happened, I believe it was on August 1st. So if you look at the month following that Bitcoin Cash, and granted there's other factors there as well, but if you're looking at the month following Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin went up 85%. So a lot of people are saying, it's going to crash, all this stuff. Bitcoin went up 85% in the month following Bitcoin, the Bitcoin Cash fork, when everybody else said the logical thing is that everybody's going to buy Bitcoin before the Bitcoin Cash fork and then sell Bitcoin afterwards because they don't need it anymore, and then because they got their Bitcoin Cash and then gonna go do whatever. Not necessarily the case in the month of August. Granted, August is a different scenario. It's a different time. Different shit went on. But something to keep in mind, because a lot of people are saying, both Bitcoin Gold and with SegWit 2x, that that it's going to be something where the market is just going to, everybody on the planet is going to sell off their Bitcoin, and you're not going to have, the price is going to plummet. I don't necessarily know if that's going to be the case. We'll see. And one thing too, so a couple different people are talking about Coinbase will not give Bitcoin Gold. Yeah, Coinbase is definitely the most, probably the most conservative exchange out there. So I mean, that's to be expected. They released a statement on Bitcoin Gold, and they're actually going to be supporting, I believe, SegWit 2x, and they're going to be calling SegWit 2x B2x, and they're going to keep the initial name of Bitcoin as BTC, and they're going to call the 2x coin B2X. So that'll be number one, I think, good in terms of retaining the overall Bitcoin brand, I'm hoping, but it's also going to, it's going to be something that, something you're just going to want to keep an eye on moving forward as far as the companies that are going to support Bitcoin 2x or SegWit 2x or B2X or whatever the hell we're calling it. So this is kind of fun, having this little, boom. It's kind of fun being live right now with, granted it's never fun to watch Bitcoin fall off a cliff, but, within the past hour, what are we down? Let's see. Percentage-wise, we are down. My damn mouse isn't working. Okay. Down a few percentage points in the past hour, so we can, we can go through that. So somebody asked, will we get free Bitcoin Gold if you have Bitcoin? Yeah, depending upon where your wallet is, that is going to be the result. Some places, if you have your Bitcoin in Coinbase, you're not going to get any Bitcoin Gold. If you have your wallet, if you have it on a Ledger, if you have it on a Trezor, if you have it on Bittrex, you're going to get 1 Bitcoin Gold for every Bitcoin that you hold. And right now, like I said before, if you go over to YoBit, this is a futures exchange. This is by no means, the representation of exactly what's going to happen when it hits the market. But from a US dollar perspective, you're looking at about for every Bitcoin that you have, considering the futures price right now, as well as the price of Bitcoin, you're looking at about a $485 dividend, let's say, of Bitcoin, or Bitcoin Gold. So that ain't bad. And I'll take that $485 and I'll just pop that back into Bitcoin. If you want to buy, an Ethereum and a half or whatever you want to do, go for it. GDAX is owned by Coinbase, so they will not support Bitcoin Gold, but Coinbase and GDAX will support 2x or B2X. So something to keep in mind there. But if you had money, if you had any Bitcoin I talked about this previously. I tried to warn folks just in case, but I know you guys have lives outside of crypto and it's hard to keep up with this crap. But if you have your money, if you have your Bitcoin, if you have a significant number of Bitcoin on Coinbase and you were expecting to get Bitcoin Gold, sorry to disappoint you, but that's not going to happen. And to that point too, we can talk a little bit, and I spoke about it previously, but made a video about it today. But Bitcoin Gold, for me personally, what I'm going to do is the second I get my Bitcoin Gold in my Ledger wallet, I'm going to try to offload it. I don't view this coin in a positive light. Some people have torn up their GitHub. Apparently, they have some pretty minimal work done with their GitHub so far. So not a ton of kind of great stuff there. Really, the only benefit that they have, or the only thing that they're kind of going through, is they're trying to put in this proof of work algorithm, Equihash, which is not a new algorithm. Trying to, in some cases, play it off as, oh wow, we just invented this, or this brand new algorithm that we put in place that eliminates ASIC minings. So, So somebody asked if you had any, or if you're looking for shots, because we're playing the drinking game, and if you have some hard liquor available, I don't have hard liquor, but Manitha. So 1, 2, 3 shots for you. Enjoy. Yeah, so Mark mentioned that Coinbase said they didn't necessarily say you would never get Bitcoin Gold, but they will not currently support it. And if it goes to show, Bitcoin Cash, which is a much bigger, more stable cryptocurrency, regardless of whether or not you like Bitcoin Cash, regardless of whether or not you like Bitcoin Cash, I believe, went live August 1st. If you had your money on Coinbase, if you had your Bitcoin on Coinbase, you still don't have access to Bitcoin Cash. So apparently you're going to have access sometime in January, I believe. They're going to credit your account with Bitcoin Cash. But, there were points in time where Bitcoin Cash was worth about $600, $500. Now it's worth $300. So, if I like Coinbase, I'm a Coinbase advocate. I know a lot of people have had varying experiences with it. But if you want quick access to your forked Bitcoin at any point in time, you need to control your private keys, whether that's on a Ledger or somewhere else. You need to be aware of that for sure. So a couple different people talking about, and Showtime mentioned alt's going to pump. This will be interesting to see how this plays out. This is the big news I don't know if it's necessarily the big news, but for the most part, altcoins have gotten crushed have gotten crushed recently. And a lot of people out there now, that because everybody everybody thinks that because they know one Warren Buffett quote, and because they know the Warren Buffett quote where it's like, be greedy when others are fearful and fearful when others are greedy, that makes them like a master investor because they know like 2 sentences. Not that I ever claimed to be a master investor or an expert investor at all, but just because you know like one Warren Buffett quote and you see the market down doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to go back up. And so I would be wary. I've definitely told you guys before too, and I'll talk about my breakdown right now is 50% Bitcoin, 15% Ethereum, and then about 35% in OMG and Civic in Chainlink, and then a small minority in Manetha, so number 4 SHOT. So the vast majority, about 50% in Bitcoin, and then once I like Ethereum, but it's been on the downtrend obviously in the past couple months, so I've pulled a little bit of my position out of that now, but I haven't seen a trend break in terms of like the overall. A lot of people have been calling this like altcoin winter, so we'll see what ends up. We'll see what ends up with that. Michael Fox, is it too late to transfer to a paper wallet? Depending upon where your Bitcoin is, I don't think the snapshot is out yet. I don't think the snapshot's happening. A couple people have said we're 5 blocks away, so I think you should be okay if you do. But I also believe that the transactions are getting I don't know if the transactions are getting real backed up or what, but depending upon where your Bitcoin is, it might not go through in 5 blocks, so we'll have to see. Dan mentioned I don't know how I keep up with people. Somehow I'm a fast reader. I don't know how the hell that's happened because I don't read anything. Yeah, Chainlink. Well, we'll take a look at Chainlink. Somebody's mentioned Chainlink is down. Yeah, Chainlink has ripped my face off in the past like week or so. Yeah, down another 8%. Not great. Civic actually spiked today and then quickly sold off. So Civic had a nice partnership and spiked up. You could see this, and I was at work, so I literally didn't do anything, but it spiked up about 20% or so, 15, 20%, and then it's just immediately sold off and is actually back down below where things were. So it's pretty crazy that even good news in the space right now really doesn't do too much. So Omar mentioned, why should I buy the Nano Ledger? If you want to buy a Nano Ledger, go to the little go to that link, and you could buy either the Amazon version. You could buy it on Amazon; it's faster shipping, or buy it from the website. But I like the Ledger. I also would recommend. I've heard Treasure is good, or KeepKey as well. But basically, the reason that you would get that is it's a more secure way to store your crypto, and it also, in the case of you actually have your private keys, and they'll take care of a lot of the information and work around these forks. Make your life a lot easier as well. So, yeah, we'll see. Somebody mentioned, can I hack your website? I mean, there's nothing on my website really, so fuck, have fun. Probably not that hard, though. I'm not a genius. Sasan, thank you very much for that super chat. I do appreciate that quite a bit. And guys, I'm trying to get to as many damn questions as possible, so you guys are freaking awesome for asking so many of them, so I try to get to as many as possible. But if you have one that you really, really want answered, throw it in a super chat, and I definitely will answer that already. Or I will answer that. I'm out of it. Need more beer. So looking at these questions, I like KNC and OMG. So let me take a quick pop over back to where the hell is CoinMarketCap. Yeah, Kyber Network is an interesting one. I talked about that a little bit the other day. I think that some of these decentralized exchanges, I mean, Kyber Network has fallen off a cliff since the ICO. It rocketed up quite a bit, I mean, to over $300 million, but it's probably back. It's trending almost to below $100 million now. Doesn't have a ton of momentum, and I think that one of the things that you really want to be aware of is some of these products that have a long roadmap, that if there's a long time between the ICO and the actual product coming to market, that is going to, in my opinion, that's something that is reducing the excitement around a lot of these products, a lot of these projects, and is reducing the price of the ICO. So when you're looking at future ICOs, I would definitely recommend you take a look at, taking a look at how and where the actual product roadmap lines and the project roadmap lines up. Because if somebody's running an ICO and then they're not launching anything until 12 months down the road, people are going to lose. You can only be Johnny Bagholder for so long before you lose excitement in a project. And I believe Kyber Network is going live or trying to go live Q1 of 2018. So really not that far away, but now maybe is a good buying opportunity. Maybe it'll continue to go lower. Who knows? I like what Kyber's doing though, so pretty cool. And also want to say, guys, thank you too for all of you here. I think we have 400 people watching live right now, which is pretty damn sweet. So I appreciate that. I think that's the most we've ever had on a crypto happy hour to date so far. So thank you guys. Cheers to that. And with all 400 of you, I would be really interested in hearing if you guys are drinking water, beer, whiskey. I don't give a shit what it is. Love to hear what you're drinking and where you're watching in from. That'd be pretty awesome. So let me know in the comments. That'd be pretty cool to hear what you guys are sipping on, if anything, and where you're watching from, because that's always awesome as well. So somebody mentioned Vertcoin, and Vertcoin is getting hyped to all hell right now. So Vertcoin is getting hyped to all hell. I don't know if, I don't want to say it's not necessarily a pump and dump, but there's a lot of YouTubers and all those guys out there right now that drinking ketchup from the bottle. My man, coffee. Yeah, I had way too many of those today. So I'm a little jacked up. Diet Dr. Pepper, Hawaii. Oh, God damn, I'm jealous here in Hawaii. That's much nicer than where I'm at right now. Netherlands, Chi-Town. I was in Chicago. Sauce. I was in Chicago last week. Orange County, what's up? Goldschlager, Jersey. What up, my man? Gin and Tonic in NYC. Stop and Shop Seltzer. We got to get you on some LaCroix or something like that. Toronto, what is up, everybody? A lot of coffee. Coffee, whiskey, and beer. Those are my three favorite things in the world. Coffee, whiskey, beer. So we can roll with that all day long. So as I'm looking at this now, Vertcoin-wise, there's a lot of people pumping Vertcoin pretty hard as, Vertcoin this, Vertcoin that. I don't know if I would hop into Vertcoin at this point in time. I don't see a big reason to, for me personally. That's just me, but seems like it was somewhat of a, nice little coordinated move up. And I think there was also some things about atomic swaps with Litecoin, I believe, or some atomic swaps there. But I would need to do a little bit more research personally on Vertcoin. I did a little bit of research following the movement up. Texas blood of my enemies, Sean. That a man. Captain Morgan and Coke, Ireland, Blue Moon. Favorite whiskey? I'm a rye guy. I mean, rye is the type of whiskey, but I really like High West rye. High West rye is awesome. Specifically, the Campfire High West whiskey kind of tastes like you're literally drinking a campfire and you're drinking something that's on fire. So it's good for like one drink. I also, if I'm going cheap, I like Bullet Rye, or cheaper, I like Bullet Rye as well, and for sure. Henry, what's up, my man? So somebody else... Somebody mentioned talking a little bit about Litecoin. So I could pop open Litecoin here, and we'll take a look in GDAX. Now, Litecoin is taking a little dip along with... So Litecoin's taking a little bit of a dip along with Bitcoin. I think for me, the big thing that you want to look at with Litecoin is how is it trading against Bitcoin, and are you better off holding your money in Bitcoin, or are you better holding your money off in Litecoin? Because in some cases, Litecoin is viewed as a hedge to Bitcoin. This is the daily charts. I've heard from a number of different people that the point, right, basically where we're at right now and where we broke in the past couple of days, 0.01 was a pretty decent sized level of resistance for Litecoin, and breaking that, going under that would not be good news. So Litecoin is not held up well in the month of September and October against Bitcoin. You could see it losing, pretty much over half of its value in terms of Bitcoin from a trading perspective. So for me personally, granted, now might be a good time to buy Litecoin if you're looking at, this is a pretty significant dip. It might continue to go a little bit lower. It certainly has legs to go lower if we're really zooming out here. But yeah, Litecoin is not, it's right now, I am not in on Litecoin. I don't know if I would put my money in on Litecoin as well. And I don't know if I would put my money in on Litecoin right now. Maybe you're a holder. Maybe you dig the fundamentals, blah, 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 Charlie Lee, all that good stuff. But I haven't seen a lot in terms of just the overall charts and the support level to justify why I would want to put my money in Litecoin over Bitcoin. So Litecoin is oftentimes referred to, and even Charlie Lee talks about it, as the silver to Bitcoin's gold. I would rather just buy gold than silver. That's just me. So somebody out there, let's see. So Sam mentioned a lot of coins use prevent ASIC mining as a selling point. What are pros to actually making it more difficult for ASIC mining? So good question, Sam, and it's an interesting topic. And depending upon how familiar you are with the history of crypto and Bitcoin in general, Bitcoin started when Satoshi created Bitcoin. Satoshi and Hal Finney were the first two people that had Bitcoin nodes and basically that were running Bitcoin nodes and the Bitcoin application on their computer, and they were actually able to mine Bitcoin with their CPUs back in the day, like back in 2009, 2010, I believe. You could actually mine Bitcoin with your CPU, not even your GPU. And then some smart person out there figured out you could mine with your GPU, and that was better than using your CPU. Started doing that, and then after a while, somebody figured, like, why don't I just make basically an application-specific interface to an ASIC to just do nothing but mine Bitcoin, and that's how ASICs were created. And now the deal with ASICs is that it's very centralized. You have companies like Bitmain, you have companies like Bitfury that are basically centralizing. You have to pay them money to buy their miners because you can't mine on a GPU anymore. Whereas GPUs, while they're in very limited supply because of crypto, they're very much more publicly accessible than it is to buy a Bitmain ASIC for $5,000 or whatever crap that it is there. So it makes it a lot easier for normal Joe Schmoes like myself to maybe build a GPU rig with one GPU or 5, 10 GPUs, whatever it might be, and mine that way. As far as it being a value proposition for a cryptocurrency, I don't really think it is. There's a couple other ones. Vertcoin is one where you can see if you go down to Y features. So decentralized mining. We don't allow ASICs on our network. Okay, and there's a couple other cryptos out there that do that as well. I just personally don't think that it is. I don't think that it's enough to hang your hat on, as far as I don't think that's enough of a value proposition or enough of a big deal for you to to really say, okay, you can't mine ASICs, or you can't mine with ASICs, so that justifies us having a cryptocurrency. Don't really think that's that big of a deal personally, but. So somebody mentioned Bitcoin Gold is the answer to this problem. Yeah, there's like 50 other answers to this problem. There's a lot of cryptos out there that are already ASIC free miners. So because of whether it's the script mining algorithm or other algorithms out there. Just going through these questions, trying to take a look at anything I could add a good amount of context to. So Somebody mentioned, how do I mine Bitcoin Gold? I don't even think Bitcoin Gold knows how to mine. Actually, they probably do because they pre-mine that thing. But yeah, Bitcoin Gold seems pretty not that well thought out at this point in time. So I don't know if there's any miners built. I don't know how they're doing things, what's going to happen, what's going on there. So I'm sure there'll be public information as soon as people figure out how to mine Bitcoin Gold, but I don't even think that I don't believe that the information is really publicly accessible at this point in time to be able to set up your miners. But it's going to be something where you're going to need a pretty high powered GPU to make anything happen. Yeah, so P-Man mentioned lazy asses using the Bitcoin name is lame. I do think there is definitely an element to devaluing Bitcoin's brand, and I'm hoping that doesn't happen. I think it was lame of Bitcoin Cash to basically use Bitcoin's name and Bitcoin's logo. So I think that was pretty lame in and of itself. Bitcoin Gold is basically just piggybacking off the Bitcoin technology, off of a lot of other things as well. So yeah, they're basically just piggybacking off of that as well. So Evelyn mentioned, what buy order would I recommend to pick up Bitcoin at after the gold fork? It's tough to say. I mean, I would just set maybe tiered buy orders if you want to get in lower at this point. I would do that depending upon how much money you're looking for and what your kind of overall risk tolerance is. I think two things. There's kind of two distinct possibilities here, and I think a lot of people are saying it's going to be one thing where it could potentially be the other. But I think there's two distinct possibilities, basically, where either Bitcoin sells off after the snapshot happens because people think that the snapshot happened, I'm going to get my Bitcoin Gold and I'm going to move I got my Bitcoin Gold, I basically got my dividend, and I'm going to move my money into altcoins because they've bottomed out and I'm going to get a big fat return on altcoins. Or alternatively, people are going to look at Bitcoin Gold, or they're going to they had no intention of, or a lot of people maybe had no intention of moving their money out of Bitcoin, and they're going to take that free Bitcoin Gold that they just got, and they're just going to buy more. They're going to buy back into Bitcoin, and that's what I plan on doing personally. Is if the price of Bitcoin goes down, while that happens, that's fantastic because I'm just going to get cheaper Bitcoin. But I'm basically getting free money, and I want to take that free money, and I just want to buy more Bitcoin with it. So I think that could potentially raise the price of Bitcoin because they're printing money, and they're printing money, and I feel like the vast majority of people in the crypto market are going to reinvest that money, and they're not going to cash out. So that could potentially raise the price of Bitcoin because you have a lot of people in the marketplace that are looking to take that free money that they just got and buy Bitcoin with it. And not only that, but it's probably going to be a direct Bitcoin pairing. So I don't know what markets are going to have it, whether it's YoBit right now. I mean, they have the futures market right now, but I don't know if it's YoBit or if other markets. I mean, Bittrex is not supporting it yet. I don't know what markets are going to support it, but that's something that you're going to want to watch because there's probably going to be a direct pairing of Bitcoin Gold and Bitcoin. So you're going to be able to directly increase you're probably going to be powering the price of Bitcoin up a little bit. I kind of see that as maybe, I think that is somewhat of a likely thing. And I think a lot of people are kind of overlooking that as people are getting this free dividend. And correct me if I'm wrong, but if you guys in the comments, is anybody honestly in the comments, if you guys plan on holding Bitcoin Gold because you are confident in Bitcoin Gold and you want to hold it because you think it's going to increase in value, let me know in the comments. Or if you are going to get Bitcoin Gold and you just want to sell the crap out of it and either buy Bitcoin or you buy altcoins, whether it's Ethereum or Neo or OMG or whatever, let me know. I'd be interested in hearing why, what you're going to do if you have Bitcoin, and what you're going to do when you get Bitcoin Gold. Are you going to hold on to it because you think it's going to be valuable, or are you just going to get rid of that crap as fast as you can? So somebody mentioned that is there going to be a demand for Bitcoin Gold if everybody is just flipping it when they get it? And I think that's the question. I do think that it's a lot of people are like, so I mean, we have some pretty mixed comments here. Some people say they're holding Bitcoin Gold. Some people are saying it's, they're going to try and get rid of it. They're going to sell more to buy Bitcoin, which is what I'm doing. Some people are holding Bitcoin. Some people are getting rid of it. So pretty mixed selling and buying Ether. Will buy Litecoin. So that's kind of, I would say, I mean, the feeling I get is maybe 30% of people or so plan on holding it. And then probably over 50%, I would say, seem like they are, probably over 50% seem like they're just going to sell it like a freaking hot, drop that shit like a hot potato and move on out. So, I mean, that's kind of what I plan on doing. I don't know the longevity that Bitcoin Gold might have in the marketplace. It's probably going to hurt though, depending upon where you have your wallet and how quickly that, if Ledger is handling, for me, I have my Bitcoin on a Ledger and Ledger is handling it, but we see here, they're saying that they will immediately add the ability to transact Bitcoin Gold if and when the code is available, if they add replay protection, and as soon as the transactions on the network are successful and valid. So what happens if it takes 2 weeks for a Bitcoin Gold to have available code and replay protection, and my Bitcoin Gold is sitting on my Ledger, but I can't actually access it because Ledger is not allowing me to, and the price of Bitcoin Gold plummets, which I think might happen. So that's definitely something that I'm going to keep an eye on moving forward and be cognizant of. So a couple of different people have mentioned, when can we trade Bitcoin again? How long is Bitcoin locked up for? I think some places are locking up Bitcoin. Bittrex, I know, locked up Bitcoin wallets today and some of the Bitcoin trading today due to, or really just, I think, Bitcoin wallets due to the fact of trying to, I believe, take snapshots for the Bitcoin Gold fork, and also just making sure that, I guess, some of the replay protection and things like that were okay, and so they didn't screw anything up. So I know it pisses a lot of people off, but I'd rather have an exchange be more conservative and not lose my money than for them to be less conservative and have something bad happen. So, whether it's Bittrex or whether it's Coinbase, I know, there are many places in crypto where you can just be a absolute psychopath and gamble on some shady crap and move your money around in shady places. If you want to do it on legit websites that are either federally insured like Coinbase is, or just have a decent track record for the most part like Bittrex does, then that's the risk you have to take. It's just some greater compliance there. It's not really Bitcoin Gold. It's more like Bitcoin mold. I'm not a massive, I don't see a ton of utility in Bitcoin Gold, but the way I'm considering it, if you have Bitcoin, you are getting free cash. And like I said before, as of the futures market, if you haven't been around, as of the futures market right now for Bitcoin, I'll just redo the math, but this is a futures market. Bitcoin's trading at about 50, let's see, trading at about 58.15. So close to $500. If you have one Bitcoin, you're getting close to $500 worth of Bitcoin Gold, potentially. That's a big potential. That price could absolutely plummet into oblivion in the course of 24 hours to a week. So take that with a grain of salt. But if you have one Bitcoin, you're basically getting almost a 10% dividend for doing you're getting an 8.5% dividend for doing absolutely nothing. I mean, if you're in the stock market, that's literally, people wait an entire year for an 8% return on investment. Literally, that's a fantastic year. If you're in the U.S. stock market or in basically any global stock market, and you're getting an 8% ROI potentially in this scenario. So that's pretty damn awesome. I'm cool with that. I'm definitely cool with that. Even if Bitcoin Gold is a total crap coin, give me my $500 and I'm going to buy more crypto with it. That's all I'm doing. Selling Bitcoin Gold for more Doge. To the moon, man. To the moon. Just going through here, reading some of these questions there as well. So somebody mentioned Ethereum. Somebody mentioned Ethereum spiking after the Bitcoin forks. Ethereum and Litecoin, basically, I mean, all of Bitcoin is just eating up the market. I mean, we can look at the Ethereum to Bitcoin trading ratios, and it's just gotten murdered. Like Litecoin, basically. Litecoin actually had a nice run from all the way up to September, and then Litecoin fell off the map in September. Ethereum had this crazy run back in all the way into mid-June, and then has basically sold off since mid-June and has lost, let's see how much of, since its high, Ethereum is down 67% in terms of its Bitcoin pairing ratio. So if you owned Ethereum instead of Bitcoin in the past 132 days, you lost 67% of your investment value. So that's rough. And I was buying Ethereum in June because I bought it. Let's say I bought a little bit of Ethereum at like $390. So whoops. But hey, you live and you learn sometimes. So we'll see there. So Jorge mentioned how much Doge do I have? I don't have any more Dogecoin anymore, but I actually forgot. I told the story the other night, but I forgot that I had about 1 million Dogecoin, which was like 1.2 Bitcoin a while ago. And I found it, and I was pretty happy about it. So I was a big Doge fan back in the day. Somebody mentioned Electroneum, and it is my right and my duty to say that Electroneum, I am not a fan of Electroneum. More people have reached out to me about Electroneum than I think any other ICO in the past like 3 months, which is pretty nuts. They've marketed the absolute hell out of it. They have a referral program, yada, yada, yada. I don't see Electroneum as any type of big value. However, that doesn't necessarily mean you can't make money off of it. I think many of you know I think Bitcoin is a total scam, Ponzi scheme piece of crap, but BitConnect has done very well in terms of its value. That doesn't mean that you might not lose all your money, and I don't wish anybody to lose their money, but I don't see a lot behind, I don't see a lot behind BitConnect, and it is now worth $1.4 billion. So just because I don't necessarily like Electroneum doesn't mean you can't make money on it, but I wouldn't put a penny of my worst enemy's money into BitConnect, and I wouldn't put a penny of my worst enemy's money into Electroneum. But hey, that's just me. Yeah, if I had $1 for every comment, if I had $1 for every Electroneum referral link comment that YouTube spam filters picked up, I would literally be a bajillionaire. So we'll see about that. So Bitcoin Gold equals Bitcoin sold. Yeah. Somebody mentioned potential for Civic. So I've been a long-term Civic holder. I took a little bit of profits on Civic recently. Actually, when Bitcoin was about $4,800, I moved some of my Civic into Bitcoin Gold. But where's my man Vinny? So Vinny, the CEO of Civic. So they're partnering with Credit.com and working on some new partnerships for identity theft protection. I like Civic. I think it's one of the few products out there that actually is doing much of anything and actually making advancements in the space. Vinny Lingham sold his last company for, I think it was above $50 million back in the day, back in the early Bitcoin days. He sold Gift to, I forget who he sold Gift to, but it was a pretty large company. Sold it for above $50 million. So pretty smart guy and knows what he's doing. And from a value perspective, I'm still up about 3x on my Civic investment from the ICO. It ICO'd at about 10 cents, I believe. I ICO did about 10 cents. So, and it had a nice little spike today based upon that tweet, but it's down right now. It's sold. It hasn't kept its value to Bitcoin like a lot of things haven't. Oh, shit. That didn't pause. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so somebody mentioned I am so tempted by BitConnect, and all my favorite YouTubers are condemning it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it might not go down anytime, but yeah, if you're putting your money because there's a Fugazi trading bot out there that's going to make you money on anything in the world, and trading the volatility of Bitcoin because there's only one trading bot in the world that can make you 40% monthly interest. Yeah, no thanks. No thanks. Thoughts on EOS? Not a big fan of EOS. I don't like the year-long ICO personally. I'm not a big fan of what they're trying to do. And there's kind of like a lot of people are, talking about. There's, or like we talked a little bit about before, as far as, like we talked a little bit about before with the overall. And there goes, and down goes Bitcoin. So I got 5-minute charts right here, and Bitcoin is dropping like a rock. Heyo. So hop on here, guys, and watch Bitcoin drop. So we're at 57.13 right now. Will it bottom out? What's going to happen? Will it break 5,700? For me, if it drops, and it drops big time, I'm buying. I'm buying that for sure. So we'll have to see what is going on. But Bitcoin has a little bit of support right now. Nope, there we go. There goes 5,700. And yeah, so apparently people are looking to take that free money from Bitcoin Gold right now. Don't really care too much about SegWit 2X on the horizon as of the time being, and are selling off to either buy back in low or just shorting it. So this will be fun. This will be fun to watch live. I hope you guys in for. I don't know if The Voice is on tonight. I think actually Monday Night Football is on, which the Jets suck, so I'm just depressed about football. But this is better than watching the Jets play, I'll tell you that much. I will tell you that much. So apparently the fork just happened, so thank you to all you homies in the comments right now who are keeping me in the loop on this. But yeah, Bitcoin is dropping nicely. How low will it go? If you guys have predictions, I'd like to hear that. Let's hear predictions on how low Bitcoin is going to go right now. This is in the past 5 minutes. We're down. What are we down in the past 5 minutes? Down 2 something percent in the past 5 minutes. So pretty damn good. Down 56.50. And we're dropping, and we are dropping. So let's hear about those. Let's hear about those predictions on where Bitcoin is going to potentially drop to now that this Bitcoin Gold fork is over, and what you're thinking about. 2,600. That's pretty aggressive. We'll have. I don't think that's 3K. I'm buying a lot if it's at 3K. 5,200. That sounds fairly realistic. You guys are all over the place. I love it. I love it. Alts are skyrocketing. Let's take a look at what's happening right now with let's see what's going on. ETH to let's see if Ethereum's doing anything. There it goes. So the money is going from Bitcoin into the altcoins right now, guys. Heyo. There's that movement that's happening. The money is moving from Bitcoin. People are selling Bitcoin, and they are moving it into the altcoins. So there it happens. There it goes. And let's see what's going on elsewhere. OMG. Let's look at Bitfinex. Omise Go making a little bit of a run up, which is good to see. Just talking about Civic. What's happening with Civic? Oh, Civic's making a little bit of a run. So if you guys have the altcoins, right now is a pretty freaking interesting time to see what the hell is going on. So this is about as good a timing. And again, now we're at 500 people on the YouTube live, so I appreciate that. I really want to run and get another beer, but I don't want to walk away from the TV screen here. I'm going to check out my Blockfolio as well because this should be interesting. Let's see. No, Apple, I don't want to update my phone. Damn it. Leave me alone. Blockfolio. Bitcoin is taking a dive, and everything else is... Can somebody just hold my beneath the bags? This is, the alts are pumping. This is going. Hey, so one of two things happened. I said either Bitcoin was going to go up because people are going to try and take that Bitcoin gold and buy it up, or the alts were going to pump, and it looks like the alts are freaking pumping. Let's see what... It's hard to... So Binance, let's take a look at Chainlink on Binance. Heyo! That doesn't suck. So Chainlink is a little bit of it's still down in the shitter, but a little bit of life back into Chainlink, which is nice to see. Neo, we could pop over to Neo. I know you guys, a lot of you homies are heavy into Neo. Neo's making a movement. Let's see what Neo's at from a percentage wise. Neo's up 11% in 2 hours, or 11% in an hour. That's nuts. Where is Bitcoin at? So this is about as fast moving as the market gets, which is like freaking crack cocaine. Not that I've ever done crack cocaine or either of them, but I imagine that's kind of what it's like. So we got Bitcoin now falling off the damn map. We're getting a little bit of support down at 56.50 or so. But if you got altcoins, if you were heavy altcoins, and if you were hurting a little bit here, this is not the worst time in the world for you right now. Definitely not the worst time in the world for you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that super chat there, my man. Thank you so much for that. That is very much appreciated. Alts, baby, are we back? Are the alts back? It looks like you guys might be okay with those altcoins, and that's certainly not the worst thing in the world. And that's kind of why too. I mean, for me personally, like I said before, I'm 50% in Bitcoin right now, 15% in Ethereum, and then 35% in OMG, Chainlink, and Civic, as well as Manetha. So looking at those altcoins, that's kind of why I wanted to keep that 50% exposure into the altcoins for me, because if Bitcoin continued to rocket, I would have that upside potential. If the altcoins pump, then we Gucci. And apparently we're okay. If Bitcoin goes down, personally, I mean, in my opinion, I think Bitcoin is in terms of just future value, it's going to continue to pump in the future. For me, it's an opportunity to buy in lower. So depending upon what happens, we'll have to see. Let's see. So a couple different people talking about XLM. So let's take a look at Stellar Lumens. Nice little move. Nothing crazy. Still down a bit from its pump. Let's see what we got with Litecoin. So trying to look at these bad boys. Every time, so somebody's just said if pay could pump, that'd be great. I always think of the Office Space meme, where it's just like sitting there with my, if you could hold my beneath the bags, that'd be great. So Litecoin making that move. Let's see about the homies over at Ethereum. Where's my man's Vitalik? There it goes. 291 for Ethereum. That's a little bit of life back into ETH, which is pretty. So DM just said he bought ETH this morning at 276. You basically bought the absolute bottom. So hell of a trade there, my man. Hell of a trade. That's pretty damn nice. I'm assuming whoa, and we're running, and we are running. So looks like money is flying out of Bitcoin. Actually, it's recovered a tiny bit here, but money is flown out of Bitcoin and into the altcoins, whether it's been Ethereum or if it's Litecoin. So this has been pretty incredible to watch. I mean, seeing as this happens right now and what is going on. So somebody mentioned Altcoin is smoking. ETH only needs about 40%. So let's not get too crazy because Bitcoin has crushed it. But at the same point in time, this is freaking sweet to. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people out there are making some money right now. So watching your portfolio go up in freaking real time is about as awesome as it gets. Taking a look at some of these questions and some of these comments. Why haven't I sold Manetha? You're on your 8th shot if you're still drinking right now. And if you guys aren't aware, we play the Manetha shot game where you have to take a shot every time I say it. But I haven't sold it because I'm an idiot bag holder. That's exactly why I haven't sold it. I could have sold it at a 3x profit, and now I'm at a loss, about a 50% loss. So I'm an idiot dumbass. That's why I haven't sold it. If we're being completely honest with ourselves, that's why. So somebody's saying, what does it all mean, Bobby? I mean, high level, who knows off the top. I mean, I'm kind of shooting from the hip here, trying to go and understand everything on as we're watching this. I believe the fork has happened. Some people have said it has happened. Some people have said it hasn't. As long as the snapshot has happened, then that is yeah. I hear you, Evelyn. So if the snapshot has happened, and we've had a little bit of Bitcoin's making a little bit of run back up, but basically Bitcoin is selling off right now, or has sold off a little bit, and money is exiting Bitcoin, and people are taking their Bitcoin and buying other cryptocurrency with it, which is jacking up the price of other cryptocurrency, because if there's a lot of people moving into those markets, they're willing to get in at higher and higher prices in a chase of those gains. So as you'd expect, the price of, let's say, Ethereum, that's a big old green candle there, although it's pulled back a little bit. Litecoin is, actually that shot up and has pulled back a little bit as well, but Litecoin has moved up. If we want to look at Neo on Neo is up. Freaking, I don't know if it's reflected really yet on CoinMarketCap. It's still, I guess, on the day, not really up yet, but it's the altcoins are pumping for sure. And I think this might call for another. I think this is going to call for another beer. So give me 1 second. I'm going to grab another beer. Don't leave. Literally running downstairs because I don't have a fridge in my office. Yeah. So give me 1 second. Just kidding. So the altcoins are pumping, and this was closer than the beer, so we got a little bit of Johnny Walker. I don't really even like Johnny Walker that much, but it's a party, so why the hell not, guys, right? And per usual, anytime I run downstairs, I get winded. So we'll pop this thing open. You're gonna see a just sad look on my face the second this goes down. So let's pop over and we can talk to you about the overall Bitcoin. Let's see I'm going to pop to Twitter as well. See if there's any specific news on Twitter that's happening right now or what's going on, blah, 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 blah. Yep. Okay, so that's why it's pumping. So the account balance snapshot is completed. Bitcoin Gold work is done on Bittrex. The Bitcoin wallet will reopen now. So if you have your, that's why the party started, because Bittrex started it, or it was probably one of them that started it as well. So now if you had your money, if you had Bitcoin in Bittrex, that snapshot is done. So whatever you had in there, anything you do from now, you'll get Bitcoin Gold based upon that, and you could sling your Bitcoin wherever the hell you want to sling your Bitcoin. So 11 minutes ago, that's what came out. And that is, in some cases, I'm sure why. I mean, let's look at some of these altcoins. So we got ADA, even Bitcoin Cash is pumping. It's like, what the hell's going on? Everything's pumping, but Bitcoin to Tether. Yeah, so Martin, I mean, that's definitely... something to, it's pumping in comparison to Bitcoin, but that's also, I mean, you're talking about a value. If you're trying to buy that crypto, if you're expecting that Bitcoin's value will increase at one point in time, you're getting cheaper altcoins than you would have previously. So, I mean, I think that's, it's definitely something to, something to keep an eye on and something to look at, because you're getting a lot more value out of, if you want to sell that crypto back into Bitcoin, if you want to do anything with that crypto, I think that's definitely something to keep an eye on. But I mean, even not all of them, but if we pop over here to GDAX, ETH is moving. ETH went up from 282 to 297. We got a Litecoin. Heyo. I mean, they're US dollar spikes as well. So definitely something to keep an eye on there. So this might hurt a little bit, but cheers to altcoins pumping right now. Cheers to Bitcoin Gold, our newest crypto to devalue the Bitcoin brand, but pay me a dividend and pay you a dividend, hopefully, and give you some free money to put wherever you want. So cheers, guys. Yum. I'll chase that with water like a 12-year-old. Chainlink to BTC is up 18%. I can dig that. Looking at some of these questions here. Yeah, USD values are pumping as well. It's obviously on a Bitcoin pairing perspective, they're just pumping like freaking crazy, but don't drink. Yeah, that's what my doctor tells me. It's what I shouldn't do, but I do anyway, so. You're Australian. Don't you guys just drink and live on the beach and hang out all the time? Like, what's the problem? I don't give a shit if it's lunchtime. Come on, drink. Everybody sell Bitcoin, buy fiat now. Yeah, no. My cryptos. What am I drinking? It's Johnny Walker Black Label. It's nothing special. Watching a guy drink beer on YouTube, making that. Yeah, right now maybe I'm making thousands. That's for sure. Well, it's hail Litecoin, and then it sells off. But what do we got? What's ETH? Is ETH gonna break? Is ETH gonna break 300? Oh shit! ETH broke 300. Holy hell! This is something, guys. This is absolutely, not a smoker. Not a smoker. Yeah, I'm looking at my portfolio right now in Blockfolio, and literally everything is skyrocketing. Minus Manetha, it's still down 15%. So thank you for if there's one thing in my life that can constantly disappoint me, it's the New York Jets and Manetha. No matter what, I am going to sell I'm going to throw my laptop out the window if I look at that crap. I'm going to, tonight after this YouTube live, I promise you I will sell that crap because I'm tired of it. I don't want it anymore. So, whoo. Have you ever got drunk live? I think I've been pretty close, so. I am not right now, but I could get there. If this keeps going up, boys, boys and girls, I could definitely, we can work on getting there. That's for damn sure. So, I mean, depending upon, so Bitcoin now, I mean, it's not down that far. Like I said, if everything else is pumping and Bitcoin is down, I'll buy more Bitcoin in the future and it'll be Gucci. So, yeah, but I gotta sacrifice myself for the rest of the team. The second I do sell, it will skyrocket, but I gotta sacrifice myself. Do I think Bitcoin is gonna pull back to 5,000 again? I have no idea, but if it does, I know I'm buying. So I'll tell you that much. I'm holding the existing Bitcoin I have. If it pulls back significantly, I'm gonna take that opportunity to buy more. That's about as simple as I will get. So what's Walton Coin? Is it WTC? What do we got? Is it just on Binance? Wow. So again, Walton Coin just, what do we got? It's up 15%. It was up 18%. Nothing super, super crazy. And again, what do we got? Is ETH still popping off? 305 in 1 hour. Ethereum has gone from 282 to 305. Now, that ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. Yeah, New York Giants are not any better than the Jets, which is funny. Yeah, I say Gucci because I'm a white kid, so I just got to connect with my inner roots. What do we got? If you guys are seeing anything, because I'm trying to keep as much of a loop as on all of this, but this is about as crazy of an hour as I've seen in crypto. Crazy as an hour as I've seen in crypto. If you guys have, if you guys are seeing stuff happen and shit in real time, definitely let me know and I'll take a look at it because I'm trying to. I'm just popping around looking at all these cryptos. But if you're seeing stuff happen in real time, definitely let me know and I will take a look at it as well. And if for any reason, I know we have 600 people here live now, which is absolutely nuts in and of its own right. So cheers to everybody on the altcoin pump. Cheers to free Bitcoin Gold. And if you are new, hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate that. I do daily videos on cryptocurrency, and then I also pop in and do crypto happy hours where I just drink like a degenerate and kind of hang out and do, talk to you guys, take all your questions and do all that good stuff. And because all the altcoins are pumping and because ETH is up $20 in the matter of an hour, we're drinking out of a mini bottle of Johnny Walker, which tastes disgusting, but hey, we're doing it. So somebody mentioned OMG crushing it. Let's pop over BTR. We can actually Bitfinex. I think they have a USD pairing. Yep. OMG up to $8. That ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. Let's see. BAT. What do we got with BAT? BTR. Bittrex. That's tough to see because on an ETH pairing, ETH is shooting through the roof. Oh, there we go on Bitcoin. Wow, it's a strong move. Strong move. Yeah, the delayed reaction to the aftertaste will just hits you. I'm not a massive Johnny Walker fan, but that was the first thing that I saw downstairs. And I have a bottle of Bullet Rye, but it's literally a bottle like this big. So I probably would have looked a lot cooler, but you take what you get. So what is up here with, let's see, Pay token in the past hour? I know we got a lot of 10X fans here. Up 12% on a Bitcoin pairing in the past hour. That ain't bad as well, per usual. Getting a Patek Philippe, I don't even know how to pronounce it, but yeah, those are fucking baller-ass watches. So, somebody mentioned even Coin is going up. SC, there we are. Is anything Coin to USD? Where's Coin? Poor Coin. If you invested in Coin, you've just gotten your heart, your face, your soul ripped off and crushed. Coin was like the darling of May and June, and since then has literally not had a pulse since it was up at $400 million. But let's take a look at the daily to see if see this spike and see what's up. It's still down, I guess, 4% of the day. Poor Coin. How sustainable is this for... How sustainable is this for the altcoins? I think that it's pretty damn sustainable. Hold on, I'm texting my wife. So, how sustainable is this for alts? We'll have to see kind of what ends up happening there and kind of how things end up going. But yeah, pretty crazy as far as everything goes. I'm hesitant to make any. A lot of you guys know me. I'm hesitant to make calls on that because, I mean, you can be right. There's typically two scenarios. Like, it doesn't take a genius to figure out the two scenarios of what's going to happen in a lot of these cases and why it's going to happen. But as far as how it's going to happen, who the hell knows in a lot of scenarios. So I'm typically, a little hesitant to make any predictions on that. But I'm 50% in Bitcoin and 50% in altcoins, kind of for this exact scenario where in the past month, Bitcoin has made a crazy move. And then, whoa, what do we got here? Oh, that's wrong. And then right now, the other cryptocurrencies are absolutely crushing it. And two, so a couple different people have mentioned as well from the SegWit 2x perspective. From the SegWit 2x perspective, as far as what's happening right now with potentially. Fuck USA people. Cool, man. So, dude, USA here. But as far as things go with essentially with SegWit 2x, really what you want to, I think SegWit 2x is going to be a bigger deal than Bitcoin Gold. So whether or not this ends up being anything is one thing or another, but this could certainly repeat when SegWit 2x happens in a few weeks. We'll have to see. I think SegWit 2x, the B2X stuff, is going to be even more crazy than Bitcoin Gold is, because Bitcoin Gold is kind of a crappy, half-thought-out product that really does absolutely, in my opinion, it doesn't really do all that much. Bitcoin Gold, B2X has a little bit more support. Interestingly enough, too, if you guys have been or with me in the beginning of this video and have a little bit of remember a little bit about what's going on with these futures. This is Yobit. These are the futures markets on Bitcoin Gold. I don't know if Bitcoin Gold is trading anywhere. Let me know if Bitcoin Gold is trading anywhere or what's going on with it. But right now, I think Bitcoin Gold futures are down about 5 or 6%. So another back up, actually about 3%. So we'll have to see what goes on there as well. Give me a second. I'm going to put my phone charger in. Okie dokie. We're good. We're alive. The people's coin. And guys, if you're spotting anything in the market right now, I'm trying to I don't know what the hell that is, Monsters Moonshine. But yeah, I'm trying to get a feel for kind of what's going on here as far as things are moving in real time. So if you're seeing anything in the market that's really making a big movement, like Ethereum, like potentially Litecoin, let's see what Litecoin's got going on. Litecoin is making a move for sure as well. Litecoin is next ETH. Get in. Where's my free Bitcoin Gold? I have no idea where Bitcoin Gold is. Let's take a look at XRP. Is anybody, somebody just said RIP XRP, so let's look at Bittrex. So Bitfinex just listed, let's see here. Wow. So it's still up a little bit, but nothing like holy crap crazy. Okay, yeah. So Ripple's making a little bit of a move, but it's still nowhere near where it was before the whole swell conference. So Ripple's not doing all that doing all that crazy there as well. A couple different people. Somebody mentioned need to go. Will this be posted later? Yeah, YouTube typically just compiles this stuff and posts it back up. So you can watch the recording and all the comments will be there for you as well. So you should be good to go there. And this should be back up online shortly. So if you didn't watch the whole thing, and if you weren't here in the beginning when this stuff happened, I was talking about Bitcoin Gold and making just incredibly wrong, contradictory statements per usual because I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just kidding, but just kind of going through all that. It was pretty crazy to see this stuff happen in real time. So a bunch of people have asked about Stellar XLM making a nice little movement as well. So here comes back all my crypto. Do we sell alts? I mean, that's up to you. Is this run over in an hour? Who knows? This might be the start of a long sustained run. Altcoins have fallen pretty far. Depending upon where you got in on altcoins. If you got in on altcoins an hour ago, then maybe you should take some profits. If you got in at altcoins at a significant loss, then ride the wave, brother. Ride the wave. Lumens is moving now. Yeah, IOTA. Look at LTC. I'm 88% altcoins. Yeah, that's ballsy, and that ballsy move is paying off right now. So basically pretty much everything besides Bitcoin is pumping through the roof at this point in time. And Bitcoin has fallen, but it hasn't been like an incredible. I mean, it's down $200. It's not like holy crap, but $200 in Bitcoin is probably billions of. I don't know how many billions of dollars in market cap, but it's probably a few $1 billion worth of market cap. So we can go there as well. Let's see. What's crypto watch? I'm hammered, Bobby. No, I wish I was, but I'm definitely not. So we got ETH up about 5%. You can see the green just in the past couple minutes. Bitcoin Cash not doing all that much. ETH futures, whoa, heyo. Even EOS has a pulse. That's surprising. Litecoin up a nice little bit. Rolling through here. Gnosis is dead. NAV making some moves. So pretty interesting to see some of these moves really happening in real time. And yeah, somebody mentioned Bitcoin is actually working back up in the past 15 minutes. Definitely is. If I move over to the 15-minute charts here, what do we got here? Yep, in the past 15 minutes, Bitcoin was all the way down to, Bitcoin was all the way down to 56.40 or so, in the 56.40s, and is now back up to 50, above 57. So we'll see what ends up, rolling there, but pretty cool to end up seeing. Richard mentioned, did it split? So I don't know when you'll actually have Bitcoin Gold visible in your profile, but Bitcoin Gold, the snapshot has apparently taken place, at least on Bittrex. So the snapshot is really all that matters, because basically the snapshot is, like you'd imagine, a snapshot to see how much Bitcoin you have in your account and how much Bitcoin Gold you're going to receive because of that. So once the snapshot happens, you can move your Bitcoin and do whatever, and what was previously in your account during the snapshot is how much Bitcoin Gold you get. So that is that's something that you want to check out. So somebody said everyone rags on EOS, but they raised $180 million in the ICO in one day. Can so many people be wrong? Yeah, well, Tezos raised $230 million, and Tezos is about to get sued, and hopefully all the investors will get their money back. So yeah. $180 million can absolutely be wrong. I mean, it might be right too, but I don't see a product yet, so I'm not a big fan. What do we got here? ETH. We'll take a look back at ETH. So ETH is at 303, a little bit of a pullback from 307. And Litecoin, if you're a LTC holder, Litecoin went up all the way up to $58 or so. Yeah, Ripple's really not moving that much right now. And, thank you, Jess, for that. Thank you, Jess, for that super chat. I don't know too much about KuCoin exchange or staking there, so I appreciate the super chat very much. But I don't know too much about staking and what the KuCoin exchange and kind of the bonuses there of why they're producing those and kind of the overall thought process for that. So unfortunately, I don't want to give any misinformation on that. But I do appreciate the super chat, and if you have another question, definitely let me know. Can I check lumens again? So I don't know if it looks like a little bit of a pullback right now on some of these altcoins, but so it looks like we got a little bit of a pullback. I don't know if some people are taking profits across the board. I'm gonna pop back over to to GDAX, see what's happening with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is making a little bit of a comeback here. Nothing crazy, but making maybe a little bit of a comeback. So somebody mentioned, do I arbitrage Bitcoin on the different exchanges? No. I mean, there's arbitrage bots that are built out, and there's a lot of, I think, Bitcoin is way too big to arbitrage opportunities sound great in theory, and then you try to actually implement them. And unless you're like an algorithmic trading genius or you have some pretty awesome software built out and you have a ton of money, arbitrage is, I think, a risky proposition. And I've gotten tempted before. I'm like, oh wow, there's what's trading this way on one exchange and it's trading this way on another exchange, and I can arbitrage this. And then you realize you really just can't arbitrage it. So let's see and Bitcoin Gold futures still trading kind of in that 0.08 range, so not terrible, not that bad at all actually. Volume still maintaining pretty steady. I mean, it's not massive volume, but Josh, I appreciate that super chat, my man. Thank you so much for that. Thank you very, very much. If you have any questions, Josh, definitely let me know. Somebody mentioned Neo breaking, going crazy, breaking some resistance. So pop over to Bitfinex, US dollar. It's $29 and went all the way up to $31. So it looks, pretty much in line with what everything else. So hopefully you got some money in Neo, you got some money in Ethereum, you got some money in Litecoin, you got money all over the place. So that would be pretty incredible. So hopefully a lot of you guys out there have some nice altcoins and you're enjoying a nice little run, a nice little bit of profit, and you're making some money. So cheers to you if you are making money right now tonight, which is pretty bad, pretty good. So somebody mentioned BTG is on Bitfinex. We'll see let's see, Bitfinex. I'm not a Bitfinex user. I think it's banned in the US actually, but yeah, so these futures on YoBit are, I think, very different than what it's on. So BTG to USD, it says it's $110 right now on Bitfinex. So it's 25% less than what it is on the YoBit futures. That's some pretty big arbitrage. That's a pretty big difference in terms of the futures and what is actually liquid on Bitfinex. Who knows what the deal is with that and how that's potentially. You can see here, BTG $101. Might be due to just lack of excitement. I don't know. I'm hoping it goes up more than that because I would personally like to get more money to buy. I would personally like to get more money to buy back into Bitcoin at a lower rate, which would be my ideal situation. But we'll have to see how that ends up working and what ends up rolling there as well. Somebody mentioned, do I like the DNT project? Yeah, I do. I'm a fan of DNT, but we'll see long term, some of the decentralized exchanges have struggled as of recently. So it's been a tough go for some of the decentralized exchanges as of recently, like, really like Kyber Network, like actually DNT is not a decentralized exchange. I'm thinking of 0x. I was thinking of not disregard the previous statement. I am brain dead right now, and I had one sip of whiskey, so my head is not working at all. And so somebody else is mentioning some of the Bitcoin new highs right before SegWit 2x. That's possible. I'm keeping my money in. I'm keeping 50% in Bitcoin for sure, because I still think that this could be a temporary sell-off, and people are, in some cases, they're enjoying nice profits here, absolutely. But in some cases, people are disregarding the fact that SegWit 2x is going to be a bigger deal than Bitcoin Gold. So, with that being said, I'm keeping a nice position in Bitcoin, and potentially look to increase that position in Bitcoin in the future in anticipation of SegWit 2x. Maybe for the next week or so, maybe for the next 2 weeks, we see a sell-off. If that happens, great. You get an opportunity to buy in lower. We've already broken 6,000, so we know it's possible once. It can certainly be possible again. And that's kind of that's the attitude I'm taking going into this. Going into this in the future, is trying to increase my Bitcoin stack, trying to increase my Ethereum stack, and using these altcoins to, really kind of make that happen as well. So anybody know the price of Bitcoin Gold? Depending upon where you're looking, if we're looking at the YOBIT futures, Bitcoin Gold to BTC is 0.08. If we're looking on Bitfinex right now, it says Bitcoin Gold is $111 per Bitcoin Gold. It's about a quarter of what it's trading at on YOBIT. So Bitfinex is obviously a bigger exchange. So maybe Bitfinex is right there. I think it's still pretty early on. To actually figure out what's really happening and kind of some of the true motivation behind what's going on there. But definitely something to keep an eye on from Bitcoin Gold perspective of really what's happening on the Bitcoin network. And I haven't opened up my Ledger recently. I don't know from a transaction perspective what's happening, or from Ledger's perspective too. I know if you guys saw this before, I keep my Bitcoin on a Ledger, and with that, they've come out and made some statements as far as what they're going to do and how they're going to utilize it. And they updated it so the Bitcoin Gold fork, you don't have to do anything, blah, 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 blah. No need to contact us. We're good to go. So I'm waiting until Bitcoin or till Ledger figures my stuff out. Do I have an opinion on Substratum or Cardano? I don't have. Thank you, Keanu, for that super chat. Appreciate that, my man. I'll take a look over at, so I'll pop over to CoinMarketCap, and I'll look at Cardano. I know Cardano's getting hyped pretty much. It's a pretty fat market capitalization at $700 million, and I mean, it's done fairly well. It's definitely performed fairly well in the market. It's basically been a top 20 coin since its ICO. And, some people have said that this is really going to be the next, it's going to be the next Ethereum killer. There's a big team, blah, 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 blah. I need to do a little bit more research on Cardano to just get a good feel for the overall viability of the platform. Just because let's see the team. Everybody's freaking out because they have like 50 people on their team or something like that. There we go. Team Cardano Foundation. Let's see. Actually, there's no link to it, so I can't even click on the team. But everybody's freaking out because they have like 50 people on their team or a bunch of people working for Cardano. And just because you have a bunch of, like, I work at a Fortune 500 company that has 150,000 employees. Just because you work at a big company doesn't mean that it means that Vitalik Buterin in his underpants can't outperform you, programming in a basement. So I think that's something to be aware of and understand as you continue to move forward there for sure. But I don't have anything negative to say about Cardano. I need to do more research personally about it just to make a really good informed decision. But I don't hold any. I've seen some people say it's going to be the next big thing, but if it will, that remains to be seen. So Litecoin pumping back up a little bit. Let's see, where's my homies at ETH? ETH is woo. There we go. If you're holding ETH today, you're in a good mood. If you're an Ethereum holder, I would love to see our Reddit ETH trader right now. I know a lot of you guys probably initially found me from Reddit ETH trader, so shout out to ETH trader. Love that Reddit community for sure, and I'm sure that I would love to see the daily thread right now on Reddit. You know what? Fuck it. Let's go over there. They definitely have to have some good memes happening on Reddit ETH Trader right now. The daily discussion, which is always a fantastic place. People have to just be running around, hugging each other, sending memes, blah, 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 blah. This is going to... And then you got the one guy who's ruining the party. This is going to lead to an epic crash. Thanks, bro. Any thoughts on what's going to happen to BAT and OMG long term? I'm more of a fan of OMG than I am of Basic Attention Token personally. OMG, I think, has more of an interesting use case and probably more of a viable use case personally. I have money in OMG, so take that with a grain of salt. So definitely take that with a grain of salt. But I'm a fan of OMG. I think it's an interesting crypto, interesting platform, good team that's marketing it. Granted, Basic Attention Token has a very good team behind it as well. Some really smart people there too, but it's, I think, in a lot of cases, almost a more ambitious project because it's trying to redefine like browsing the web, advertising, all that type of stuff. So I think that Basic Attention Token is a little bit more of a kind of hit or miss. Like, yeah, it could potentially be massive, but it could also potentially just have no users and be nothing. And guys, if you are new to the channel, we have 700 people here, which is incredible. Thank you so much for that. But if you are new to the channel by any chance, hit that subscribe button. Like I said before, I do daily videos on crypto. So I do daily recorded videos on crypto. And then I also do these YouTube live happy hours. And if anytime anything is happening and going on in the crypto space and happening in the world of crypto, try to pop in here, drink beers because I'm cool like that. No, not at all. But try to have some drinks with you guys and relax, enjoy, and talk about things in a pretty casual manner and answer as many questions as I possibly can. So that's definitely what I like to do. So if you like that, subscribe. If not, tell me to go F off, and I'd happily take that and accept that because I probably deserve that in a lot of cases as well. So Malik mentioned, why is Bitcoin down? Some of you might be wondering that. Pretty simple, for the most part, pretty simple explanation to that is that people were holding Bitcoin in anticipation of the Bitcoin fork or the snapshot for Bitcoin Gold. The snapshot occurred, meaning that when places like Bittrex and other exchanges and other systems took a snapshot of how much, if you had 1 Bitcoin, you got 1 Bitcoin Gold. The second that snapshot happened, and if you had 1 Bitcoin, that is recognized and you're going to get credited for that Bitcoin Gold in the future when that happens. But after that snapshot happens, you can move your Bitcoin, you could trade it, you could do whatever you want with it. So people, after that snapshot happened, said, hey, I don't need to hold my Bitcoin anymore. I'm going to go buy Ethereum, or I'm going to go buy Litecoin, or I'm going to go buy Neo. And that kind of went in, and that's right now why Bitcoin is dropped, because people have said, I'm going to buy Bitcoin, or I'm going to take my Bitcoin, I'm not going to buy it, I'm going to go buy something else. So I'm going to go buy ETH or whatever. So something to definitely be kind of aware of in the future. But I mean, you could really see the ETH ratios skyrocket to Bitcoin, Litecoin ratios skyrocketing as well. Although, like I said before, I mean, take it with a grain of salt because let's pop out a little bit. I mean, we're still, if we're talking about Litecoin, we are still way down here in comparison to some pretty high levels. Ethereum as well. I mean, we're talking about, yeah, this is fun and it's fantastic, but I I mean, we're still pretty far down in comparison to what we've been previously. Granted, it's fantastic if you got money in it. So take it with a grain of salt. Hopefully you bought in nice and, nice and early. I heard Reddit is crunk right now. Yeah, Reddit's got to be just bumping off the walls. Gotta love my Reddit homies. They are my dudes. And if you are new to the channel too, and if you want to, I'll pop over on Twitter here, but I try to keep things in the loop on Twitter as well. If you want to shoot me a follow on Twitter, you can hit me up there. There's my ugly little mug there. But if you want to shoot me a follow on Twitter, I try to post some somewhat informative things about, when I'm going to go live and Bitcoin, gold, and the Ledger, and blah, 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 blah. So try to have some decent tweets every once in a while on what's happening in the world of crypto. And guys, outside of that, shit is absolutely going nuts right now, which is pretty crazy to see. Unfortunately, I do not work full-time in crypto. So I have meetings tomorrow at 8 a.m. So like I said, I work in software, I work in tech. I got meetings tomorrow at 8 a.m. So I'm going to drink some water, have some ice cream because I'm going to celebrate, and then I'm going to go to bed. But I appreciate all you guys. I wish you the best of luck. I hope you guys absolutely crush it in the markets tonight. If you have altcoins, I hope they continue to moon to the high heavens. If you want to buy Bitcoin low, I hope you buy Bitcoin low. Whatever goes on, I wish you guys the best of luck. This was an absolutely awesome live stream. The recording should be up pretty shortly, so if you missed anything, check that out. And again, too, like I said before, hit that subscribe button if you are new here, and appreciate all the new visitors and users and all you homies out there. So thank you guys so much for your time. Rob from Crypto Bobby signing out. Have a good one. Peace. Well, let's see if this actually works too.